Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Psychic Tarot Show, coming to you live here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channels. How's everybody doing today? Lovely to see so many of you in the comments. Howdy from Ice Station, Newfoundland. Woo! Hello, Alicia and Asa. Hi from Toronto. Hi from New Zealand. Lovely to see you all. Oklahoma. Hi, Lupo. Wow. Okay, I'm going to bring up the other slide, reminding you, as always, you can follow us over here on the Rumble channel, and you can book sessions with me here. There we go. And use the coupon code in the banner below to get a 10% discount on your session. I'm sorry, I'm a little discombobulated today. I just finished doing a session and then I had to rush and eat and then I got the hiccups. So if you're tuning in for the first time, this is the Psychic Tarot Weekly Show coming to you live here every Saturday. Depending where you are, it's 1 in the afternoon here on the west coast of Canada, where I'm tuning in from. And in this show, of course, we look at the forecast for the upcoming week. That was a pretty wild forecast for last week, wasn't it? Looking at the whole year ahead. I had to go back and watch it. I'm probably going to go back and watch it a couple of more times. I found it really fascinating, and already I'm starting to see some of those pieces formulating in my upcoming year and using that knowledge strategically to help me make decisions going forward. So let's look at the smaller version of that, which is this coming week. I'm going to pull the cards up here, and let's see, I'll make them bigger. There we go. I'm in the middle of clearing them. This is the process that you watch me do many times, where I'm just randomly sorting them into 3 piles. And then I will put them together and we'll all kind of maybe even close our eyes for a minute, take some breaths, tune in, and ask for our guides to be present. Any that come through this beautiful bandwidth of the heart aligned with the greater good of all, that's power neutral. We're going to ask for insights about this week. And I've had a pretty rocky couple of days. I don't know about the rest of you. Not really bad days, but days that require all my effort to stay in my center, to not go into extreme responses to things. Just a general feeling that there's a heaviness and a kind of a funk, we call it the January blues. And this year, particularly because we are looking at the end of that wood snake energy. And many of us feel like, oh gosh, this is just never going to stop. When is all of it going to turn the corner? When are we going to see the light of the new day? So let's look at this week and what do we need to know going forward? What are we bringing into the week? When we're in this state, it's often easy to overlook how far we've come. And so to start off with this week, it feels important to take stock of what you're grateful for. I'm just in the process of finishing up working on a project about gratitude. I call it Growing a Gratitude Garden. And this practice of gratitude, it's not just about, I'm grateful for other people, what they've done for me. I'm grateful for, obviously, the gift of this life and for the resources that sustain me and all the people that have supported me along the way and so on. but also grateful for ourselves and what we've developed, how we've stabilized, what systems we've designed. This is a systems card. It's about designing supportive systems that are also flexible and very practical. So showing up, recognizing how supported you are, and that's no accident. Whatever you have as your support, you've earned. I'm hearing they're saying you've learned it and you've earned it. You've learned how to be supportive to yourself and you've earned this position. And that's one of the real things about true value. Money can be, taken from you. Resources can be stolen, but true value is your ability to build something from scratch, be it a system, an approach, a relationship, a career, a purpose, a lifestyle. It's your ability to design something and build it. And we all have something to be proud of this week. We all want to remember what we've done and how far we've come, especially over the last 3 to 5 years. Ah, yeah. I'm just hearing other people saying, yeah, a funk. Oh, yes. Some funks lately, right? My week is pretty smooth, but in total wood snake mode. Yes. And yes, that's what I'm feeling. So, as we're feeling that discombobulated, disoriented, not a lot of certainty ahead, what we want to do is look down at the ground we're standing on and maybe look around at what's around us and maybe even a little bit behind at what we've just come through. Because what I'm hearing is that the next 3 years are going to be almost like a mirror image of the last 3 in the positive. Like, whatever you've grown through and, the ground that you've gained now, you can build on over the next 3 years. But you have to be looking down at the ground you're on to say, "I've got something worth building on." If you're just looking out there at the world and going, "There's so much to be concerned about. I don't feel I'm where I'm supposed to be. I don't feel safe and secure. I don't feel self-actualized or, um, like abundant enough." You're not looking down at what you have and saying, "Wow, I'm actually doing pretty well." And this isn't just the cup half empty and the cup half full. This is really about not a cup at all. They're saying it literally is about a foundation stone that you've created. I'm even hearing they're taking this a little farther, our guides, and saying, if you were a foundation, like if you were a company, what would you stand for? What would be your motto? What would be your, um, what would be your business motto? What would be your plan? See yourself as almost like a business. Your life, the way you're conducting it, is your business. And we want to think about our lives in that business mode. Oftentimes we'll put a lot of energy into creating vision and mission statements and contracts and company policies. And if we're designing a business, we'll do market research and projections and all of that stuff. A good business plan contains, but we don't do that for our lives. So interesting. So there's something about we're bringing that into this week. Okay, Taurus, we look outside. Taurus is security. It's also enjoying the pleasures of life. And there is some distortion in the field this week around overindulging. So when we're not feeling safe, secure, solid, purposeful, self-actualized, it's easy to kind of reach for something that's going to provide temporary relief. We're going to look for something to kind of mask that discomfort. So be aware of that this week. There could be a tendency to reach for things, escapism. And this especially with regard to pleasure and like the 3D realm. So overindulging in food, drugs, shopping, alcohol, all of the things, right? Too much media consumption, whatever it is, this is showing up as being there's a lot of distraction that's pulling us into wanting to fill that void of not feeling secure with something. So just be aware of that. It isn't about like, you're bad if you do, or you're saved if you don't. It's really about noticing, oh, if I'm feeling like I'm grabbing for things, this is what's going on. I'm grabbing to cover up or escape from the discomfort of this transition time. The old system crumbling and feeling like, where are we? Where's our safety? Where's our security? Oh, okay. Now we're in an air sign house. So this was Aries, the self, the personality, bringing in that feeling of foundation. What have you built? This is in Taurus, the material realm, the physical, pleasure, security, money, material things. Ooh, this is Gemini, thoughts, ideas, rational strategy, communication. We've got number one thought card right there. Ace numero uno, thoughts and ideas are swords. So that's a good placement for the Ace of Swords. It means we're going to get clear right down to the bottom of things this week. This is a no BS week, folks. If the wood snake is kind of like a tree that needs to be deeply pruned, the pruning shears are out this week and things are getting cut away. Like, don't need this, don't want that. There's a real fierce discernment this week, and it could come across. We'll see how it's aspected, meaning what's on the other side of it, what's across from it over here. But it could come across as being very cold and calculating almost. Like there might be a little feeling like we're being mean or cold to ourselves or others. Let's see what's around it. In Cancer, whoa, yep. It's again, I'm laughing because I can really relate to this personally this week. This is a no BS. Everything to do with home, family, your relationship with your mother figures, mother's relationships with their children, a real sense of things are going to get said, things are going to get brought out in the open. What we want to see happen politically, geopolitically, out in the world is going to be what we need to claim in our own homes. Our homes are going to be like, let's not call it a battleground. Let's call it down to brass tacks. As the old folks used to say, let's get down to brass tacks. It's going to be a no nonsense, big conversations, getting things cleared, because this is it. We have less than a month before we need to be free and liberated in that fire horse energy. Wow. And in a way, what we say about this card with the tower is it looks like it's built out of granite. Yes. And it's being struck by lightning. And they the message is that anything that's too rigid invites destruction because it isn't adaptable. So things that are rigid and not adaptable are going to get really kind of knocked over this week. It's also the lightning rod is that thing that sticks up the highest, right? The lightning comes down and hits the rod first because it's up highest. The things that are the most obvious, the elephants in the room, are going to get hit by lightning this week. This is also in our own home. House of Cancer is home, but it's also home, meaning community, region, country, possibly even earth home. So something getting struck this week, we get a shakeup. So it could be, I don't know, something hitting the planet. I'm not feeling full on massive destruction, but I'm feeling like wake up call energy. And we'll see what's around it. We'll see what's opposite it to know how concerned we really need to be with this. But again, I get the feeling that, eruptions, arguments, conflict in the home. Can you see this instead of going like, oh gosh, I'm just going to go and hide in bed and cover my head? Can you see this like the dead wood needs to get cut away, things need to get released and opened up, is what I'm hearing and feeling. How are y'all feeling? This is a little bit wild, isn't it? Oh, my cards agree with the astrological predictions. Cords are gonna get cut. Yep. Wow. Tower moment. Yep. Wow. Well, okay. So let's keep going and see what happens. I mean, I'm laughing. Why am I laughing? I'm not trying to make light of this, but to me, we've already lived through the worst. That's this. This is me saying, you know what? I don't know if I will be 100% safe going forward in the world ahead, in this year ahead, in this next 3 to 5 years ahead, but I know that I'm grounded and balanced and kind of ready for anything, and I've managed the unthinkable, which is to create stability through all of this wild ride, this madness, this outer madness. I've managed to find my inner strength, my inner clarity. So I'm like, if there needs to be more stuff removed from the grand illusion out there, let it drop. We've been asking for it. So we might get a bit of our wish this week. Be careful what you wish for. It can drop, but let's not make it explode. Oh, wow. Okay. Are you with me, everybody? Look what's on the other side of the tower. The reward. House of Leo, courage. You got courage to stand in the fire, you get a gift. Those that can get through this, we're going to be rewarded with something. We're going to, what is it? It's something material. Is this land, resources, money? While the rest of the tower is going down, our metals are going up, and suddenly we're in positions of having agency when other people have less power. What are we going to do with that power? Well, there's something about humble power that has been earned through actual release of the ego. That's true power. So there's tear down and there's also rebuilding. It's almost happening the same week. There's a rebuild happening and a tear down. Maybe even at the same time. Okay. I feel like I'm on a mystery tour. What's happening next? And then what happened? And then look at all the swords. Oh no, wait a minute. There's only 2 swords, but look at all the blue. I was tricked there for a minute to thinking there was a lot of swords. So much blue. Do you see all that? Blue is icy, cool, detached. Blue is expansive. It's like the sky. It's eternal. It's consciousness. It's the higher chakras, the throat and the third eye. There's a into the blue. It's seeing great distances ahead, looking far off into the distance, the blue sky. It's also a little cold, right? We think of things, our lips turn blue. They're cold. There's something chilling about it. So far, that feeling here. And this guy is in Virgo. Virgo is about our habits, our health. So a lot of good, clear plans around your lifestyle and your habits. You could be building truly habits and lifestyle changes that will last for the rest of this lifetime. You are setting things in motion. He's the most advanced planner in the tarot. What is it? There's 14 sword cards. He's top dog of all the thinking, all the planning. He's the master planner. And that's in the house of health, lifestyle, diet, habits, master planner, the master plan. And also pretty good boundaries, pretty clear about what he wants and what he doesn't want. Yeah. How's this landing with people? Blue truth. Loads of blue. Out of the blue. Yeah, breaking generational traumas. Great points, everybody. Ah. Isn't that nice? 2 lovely pentacles, well distributed here. Relationships, partnerships, agreements. Libra. So we may have some teardown. Things might come to a head this week in family dynamics, relationships with mother, children, home, housemates, roommates, landlords, all that kind of stuff is up for big, However, there's a rebuild right on the other side. Look at this. We've got the tear down and the buildup. It's almost like here's the tear down and here's the rebuild. Very, very right on the heels. So this is not the kind of tear down where you get to this place and everybody walks away and doesn't speak to each other for months and years on end. No, this is like a tear down to build up. Yeah, the rewards of going through this is we get this. So 6 of Pentacles is reciprocity. It is sharing, mutual aid, helping one another, especially around business, material things, money, investments, homes, real estate, partnership, agreements, win-win scenarios, all of that in the house of relationship and legal agreements. Pretty good. Oh, hi, darling. Whoop. Yeah, my love. Not surprising, eh? So let's carry on. Scorpio. Scorpio, the big Transformer. What do we put in the big cauldron of transformation? What's bubbling in there? Dun, da, da, da. What's bubbling in there? It's a little bit like a surprise. Something is going to surprise us. What pops out of that cauldron of transformation? Look, this is like we look in it and we go, it's kind of like you're like, I don't want to look. I don't want to look at something bad. I know it is. I'm scared. And then out pops like this. I feel like this is the Jack in the Box or something. He just jumps out and makes a happy face and goes, surprise. It's not as bad as you thought. Scorpio, like I said, the big transformer, the Fool is the big trust, the big leap of faith. So the transformation is, what have we got to lose? We've got everything to gain and nothing to lose, because what we had wasn't real anyway. All the things that aren't real are going to be gone. So is it all going to happen in 1 week? I highly doubt it, but boy, we're going to get a good booster this week of being pushed through to, break on through. Look at that, the Fool. Liberation from 7 of Cups, the toxicity, escapism, trying to hide from stuff. We're liberated from that this week on some meaningful level. Okay, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the truth speaker, the truth seeker, the truth speaker, the one that says the truth. It is about our spontaneity, adventure, expansion. This one up here, 4 of Cups, doesn't look very spontaneous, doesn't look very adventurous or expansive. It's okay to be the Fool and take that leap of faith, but have your all your stuff, have your survival kit on your back, have all your backup parachutes. Like, we don't need to go unprepared. We don't need to jump in and take down our guard. We still need to stay protected. We're all feeling emotionally vulnerable. That's okay. It's okay not to feel super I want to say expansive. We're being pushed to be expansive, but we may not want to do it. Most of us do not feel like that right now. I literally just got off the phone or got off the recording from the reading. Someone saying they didn't want to feel expansive. They were feeling the opposite. 2 readings yesterday, same thing. 2 readings the day before, same thing. I just want to curl up and not expand. I don't want to grow. I don't want to change. I just want to hide. And it's okay. We can still take the leap, but wrap yourself up in the cozy blanket while you do it, is what I'm hearing. Good. I was like, is that upside down? Okay, well, it just tempted to be upside down. So I'm going to speak about that because I never talk about upside down cards, and here's my chance. I happened to turn the deck while I was, kind of zoning out there a little bit. And this card almost came in like that. So what do I make of upside down cards? What I see them as is I see them as energies that are present but are unavailable to us at this moment. So I don't read them as having a completely different meaning. I read them as having the same meaning. So temperance is divine intervention, it's healing, it's alchemy, it's balance, it's divine timing. In the house of Capricorn, which is about our purpose, purposeful path, our destiny, our self-actualization is blocked. The healing around that is blocked. I always go to the next card that's upright for the answer to how to unblock this. So the next card that's upright shows up in this house. There it is, 5 of Swords. Okay, this is what I am hearing is the psyched out game. So we actually are going through, well, certainly we're being programmed and we have been our whole lives. And one of the programs that we've been taught is it's easier to talk about things that are bad than things that are good. The media illustrates this. They say, let's focus on bad news. It gets more views. Let's talk about the things that are wrong, not the things that are right. When we get together with our friends, we often talk more about problems than we do about successes, up leveling, ideas, vision, future, creativity. We often process problems. So, how do we unlock our greatest potential here? Balance, timing, alchemy, healing. How do we unlock that? This is where we go into, because this is the house of friends and networks, community, Aquarius, the future. We want to not continue this habit of over processing the negative with people all the time. So it's a bad habit. It's like being a worrywart. I've got this problem, by the way. I own it. I was raised by a really anxious worrywart parent who tried to strategize and control everything so nothing would be out of order. And as I get older, I see more and more of that in myself, where I tend to go into this pattern of worry, and around the worry wheel, the whirling worry wheel, it gets going faster and faster. And we often do this in our friendships because, have you ever noticed you go in to connect with someone, a friend, and you start talking about what's wrong, what's wrong? Oh yeah, I empathize. Oh yeah, I'm here for you. I'm listening. Oh yeah, I've got that too. And next thing you know, like listening to the old folks, which I'm one of them now, right? Listening to them complaining about their aches and pains and their this and their that, it starts to become a habit where we focus so much more than 50% on what's wrong. And so to break this is blocked. Our potential is blocked because we're in this worry wheel cycle. And we need to look at this. It's okay. We're not probably going to shift it overnight, but at least to say, hey, we just talked for an hour about everything that's wrong. Why don't we say we have to talk for at least an hour about everything that's right to balance that? Like, at least try to get it 50-50. What I'm hearing is most of us are like maybe 70-30 if we're lucky, where we talk a lot more about problems. So this feels like it's the key to giving us the power of healing our destiny. Mhm. Oh, thanks, Sir Miller. Yeah. And yeah, talking about failures and successes, sometimes failure is a success. You learn from it. That's right. So we can, even when we're talking about these unfortunate things that we are worried about, or our challenges, our troubles, we can, even 50% of it, we can talk about how it's helping us, how it's building us, building our strength, showing us where we are ready to heal. Mhm. So, because this is the house of our collaboration with others. And right now we have the defeat card, the 5 of Swords in there. It's not a permanent thing. It doesn't have to last, but we've got some bad habits around this. What is across from that Aquarius is Leo. The universe is trying to give us a gift, and we're so busy complaining about what isn't working, we don't see it. We're not seeing the gift that's right there. The gift is being handed to us, and we're busy looking over our shoulder at all the things that aren't working. I'm making this sound very silly because I'm talking about myself. Right? I'm so there with you, everybody. I am so 100% right with you. Like, as I'm seeing this, as our guides are sort of bringing this information through me, I'm laughing at myself and going, yep, that sounds about right. Okay. Drum roll, little drum roll, please. Pisces. The deep subconscious hopes, fears, self undoing, self sabotage. What's there? Okay, I just did something else funny. So there's two cards that want to go in Pisces. Guess what, Pisces? You get an extra whammy this week. Two. We get two because I actually did something unusual that I never do, which is I flipped the card at the bottom of the deck. And then I flipped the card at the top. They're working through my hands, apparently. So for Pisces, of course, this affects you if you're a Pisces, but it's also this part of the wheel for all of us this week is feel the fear and say it anyway. There's a lot of disclosure this week, everybody. Pisces is, again, what we've been hiding, what's down in the subconscious, our hopes, our greatest hopes, and our biggest fears, and our self-undoing. All of that is up for revelation this week because we've got the communicator. If we just had this card there, if we just had that card there, it would be like, okay, we're going to be communicating things and moving out of troubled water in a new direction. If we just had the King of Wands there, it would be like, oh, there's going to be a huge burst of energy coming from our deep subconscious. There's going to be this will, this fire that wants to tear down the things that need to get destroyed, or, the things that are holding us down, like breaking those chains, cutting those cords. There's going to be a big emphasis, a big push, an inner motivation to do that. But when you put these two together, what that says to me is it's going to be very specifically a huge desire to clear the air, to tell the truth, to say the things you've been hiding from yourself and others, to say the big, bad, ugly things, to get it off your chest out in the open. And across from it, we have the other king, the master planner. So we're going to do it in such a way that it's going to land with ideas immediately of how to change things. It's not just going to be like, I'm going to rant and make a big fuss and hurt everybody's feelings and walk away mad and stay mad for months and years. It's not that. It's immediately landing in, here's the reward, here's a plan of how to fix it, and things are going to get better from here on. Yeah. So yeah, two kings, mastery of self-mastery. Two of a kind is mastery. The kings are self-mastery. So we're mastering self-mastery in the area of how we design our reality and the energy, the fire, the passion. It's being held in because we are trying to hold back all this stuff that needs to be get out in the open. There's timing. There's the right timing for it. And this week is the time for that. This week is the time for that. And what we can manage in our own personal lives can reflect out into the world and create change on the macro level. What we do in the micro can create a ripple out to the macro. 3 arcanas. Yeah. Which 3? Let's look. Tower, Fool, and Temperance. So Tower, nothing will be the same. We have to break the things that are no longer serving. We let go of the things that are holding us down, the things we're keeping inside. We're afraid to say them. There will be a lot of truth serum. It's almost like we're all drinking that from that stream of truth this week, and things are just going to come out. So, how do we not hurt ourselves and others with it? Well, again, I think you might be surprised at how well things land, how ready people are to hear, how they already knew what you're going to say anyway. It just, once you declare it, it's out in the open and it can be healed. So, huge declarations. Okay. Whew. I'm sweating. um, Mastery of self mastery. Hmm. Yep. Yeah. Truly, right? Thank you, early morn. It's We all need to be reminded, and this week it's really going to matter. You're so welcome, everybody. Okay, last card. Mm, interesting. Hierophant. Hierophant in the center. Okay, I'm going to do just a little mini AI rant. What can AI not do? You know, when I think about the elders and the wise ones and the council, you think about wise elders and you think about how they teach, even, Christ's teachings with the parables. They teach through stories. They teach through, they wait for the right moment to say something profound that is often a story. They don't even teach directly to an individual, they teach indirectly, almost like expansively, which forces you to do the work to solve the problem. If they give you the answer and you don't have to work to solve it, you don't actually get the answer. That's what AI can't do. It can only give you the answer. It can't give you a riddle to solve the problem yourself. That's why we need elders. And what are elders? Elders are natural beings that have lived enough and metabolized their sorrow, their despair, their heartache, and their grief enough that they can hold back just giving you the answer and support you in finding it yourself. That's what AI can't do. There we go. I feel like that really answered something for me. The teachers of the future are the ones that have lived through things and know how to teach by not telling the answer. And this is where we are right now. We're going to be the leaders of the future, and we're going to help people get to where they need to be in themselves by not giving them the shortcut, the instant solution, the answer. Not like going to Chat GPT or Grok and saying, I want to know all the steps, what order I should do them in, so that I can become less self aware, less able to develop my own sense of logic and discernment. So there's something happening here. We're going through this so that we can help others learn how to go through this without telling them what to do, telling them our stories of what we did, and leading them more by example. Mhm. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. So lovely. Okay, so let's wrap it up. That was a good read. That was a powerful read. I feel pretty good about it. And on our way out today, Let me just pull up another one of these cards. Oh, yes, we have this. This is so cool. I am excited about it. Here we go. So this is Astrid's predictions. I'm just going to pull it up and have a look at it. This is a whole series, and she is doing a prediction for each of the zodiac signs. So there's a little bit about her, and then also what you receive in this prediction: key dates, major turning points, important decisions, new projects, relationships shifts, travel, and rest periods, all in alignment with the cosmic timing. So, oh, right. Sorry. That is her predictions for each zodiac sign. And here are the bundles. So you can order your own zodiac sign, $3.99. What a deal. And you can order a bundle of all of the 12 signs, which would be ideal if you want to know, for example, how to support your family and friends and so on. So there's that. And another really cool thing that I think is so awesome is Sending Ravens by Janine special edition t-shirts. So I guess there's 3 statements. One is Janine said it, and the other one is that's absurd. You can use the coupon code Beyond Mystic, all capital letters, to get 10% off of those t-shirts. So check those out. Oh, I wasn't sharing it. Here we go. There they are. I think they're super fun. So yeah, we have Astrid's predictions for 2026 and Janine's t-shirts. And hey, if you want a reading with me, you can find me over here on Beyond Mystic Consultations. I'm taking bookings now into early February. I'd love to see you there. Until next week, have a beautiful week and be prepared. Be prepared for this wildness, folks. Welcome it. Welcome the big change. It's not going to be as painful as it may look. With all of these fantastic supportive cards here. Just going to bring it up one more time. All of these rewards and supportive cards. You know, this tower is going to be rebuilt into something a lot more flexible. In fact, that is one of the great gifts of the Three of Pentacles is it's flexible. It's structure, but it's designed to be open, transformative, synergistic. The key word with the number 3 is synergy. So 3 pentacles build form and structure, but they do it in a flexible way. This old system is inflexible and it will come down because of that. Whether it be in your personal life, the way you've had to build your reality, in your family dynamics and so on, those old broken things are coming apart and we're going to let them go. So be kind to each other. Remember not to go onto this pity party, worry wart train too much. And I look forward to seeing you here next week, everybody. Have a beautiful week.